Hey everyone, Coach Pat here back at Impact Training and Fitness, and today I've got a great free weight / home gym pull workout for you. That is back, biceps, and we're going to hit our shoulders again. So again, using mostly free weights, I'm going to show you a cable setup that is developed and sold by Spud Inc. that I use here at Impact, where we have no machines, or in my own home gym, that kind of opens up and widens anything you can do at home. But I'll also show you some variations or some modifications you can make if you don't have the Spud Inc. pulley system when it comes to things like overhead or lat pull downs and stuff like that. So like I did before, I'm going to go ahead and do the first set with you, and then I'm going to turn the camera off and finish the rest of that movement, and then we'll move on to the next one. Today I'm going to do 3 back movements, 2 bicep movements, and 2 shoulder movements. Starting off with my bent over rows. I like to do my heavier compound movement first at the beginning of my workout. Working out and your body is a very personal thing. I know that with me, I've really been able to beat up my back, do higher volume, higher weight, and not really get too sore. So I'm going to go fairly heavy here, 225 on the bar. I'm going to shoot for 8 to 10 reps, which is still within that hypertrophy range. If I get anything less than that, I'll probably go down in weight. So. Okay, that felt pretty good. I want my back as parallel to the ground as possible, whatever's comfortable. Obviously, if you have some lower back issues, that's going to change. At the very bottom, I want to get a nice deep stretch. That's going to help with hypertrophy, growing muscle. Pull it all the way up, just underneath the chest, right around the rib cage. And that's a pretty good bent over row. So here we go. I'm going to do my next 3 sets, and we'll reconvene for lat pull downs. All right, so I'm over here in our Titan Power Rack with our Spud Inc. pulley system. Yes, I'm doing a lot of name dropping. So this pulley system is pretty awesome. It's a 1-to-1 pulley. So the first thing I'll say is, if you're using this, just know that you're definitely probably going to use a lot less weight here than you would with a selectorized plate machine, because it's true weight. Number 2, one of the things you have to watch out for is, because it is kind of a free, cable, it has a tendency to swing. So sometimes you have to stop, let it settle down with your foot or whatever. But what a great tool for your garage gym. I think even Coop with Cooper's Garage Gym Reviews did a review on the Spud Inc. I mean, everyone has great things to say about it. I mean, there are some difficulties, some pains. Loading it isn't the super easiest thing or quickest thing in the world, but I mean, hey, you get the benefit of a cable machine without spending thousands of dollars. This whole system, there's another one down here that you can do low rows and things like that, cable curls even. The whole system's $220, so super cheap. So yeah, here we go. So I'm going to do some lat pull downs. I have 2 plates, which should be enough. I'm shooting for 12 to 15 reps. Nice squeeze at the bottom. Try to get a nice stretch on top. Again, like always, I'll do 1 set, and then I'll do my 2 other sets off camera. So here we go. All right, so pretty good. I think I'm probably going to go up in weight just a little bit there. But if you don't have this pulley system at home, you can use bands. I'm a big fan of vertical pulling. Um, Generally speaking, if you're more upright, you're going to target more of your lats with a vertical pulling motion. Obviously, you can do pull-ups too. I'm working up to my pull-ups. Again, I have some shoulder issues. I can get about 2 or 3 right now, which is not very good. Obviously, you could do an assisted pull-up if you have someone to hold your feet. But anyways, yeah, you can use bands, like I said. I'm a big fan of Elite FTS bands. I think they're great. Just tie it to the top, put it in a door sill, close the door, and you can do pull downs that way too. So, all right, so I'm gonna finish the rest of my couple sets, and then we'll get after straight arm pull downs. All right. Okay, next up we have the straight arm pull or the straight arm pull down. Man, I've been doing these for a long time. I remember when I was in high school, my senior year, I wrestled, but then I also did some bodybuilding, and I competed in this one, teenage amateur bodybuilding show. And the one criticism I got was I need to get my back bigger. So in fact, Keith Scott, the guy that owns Impact Training and Fitness, was our athletic trainer at the time, and he showed me this movement. And this is one of the movements where I don't know if there's any science behind this, but I really attribute this movement to helping get my back bigger and wider. I used to do it almost every single workout. Probably not the best idea to do. When you're younger, you can do stupid shit like that. So, but for this particular movement, I don't use a whole lot of weight. I really worry about squeezing at the bottom of that contraction and a nice, decent, not too long, but a decent eccentric as I come back up. So I'm going to do 3 total sets. I'll do the first set on camera so you can see how I do them. I like to take a wider grip on the straight bar, on the lat pull down bar, and really, really squeeze at the bottom. So here we go. All right, that's pretty good. I got 16 reps. I'll stay with that weight. When you start incorporating things like eccentrics, I guess you could call that squeeze an isometric. Those really kind of can enhance your workout, adding in these different elements that, you might put some weight on the bar, lighter weight on the bar, but then you start incorporating eccentrics and, it makes it more difficult, creates more fatigue, definitely creates more growth. And so depending on why you're working out, if you're working out for hypertrophy, you want to get bigger, then I would definitely include these elements into your workout. If your goal is strength or either maybe athletic or even athletic performance, some of these can be good to incorporate in your workout, but in those cases, we're worried about strength and power. So just understand my goal now is get bigger, grow, hypertrophy. So I'm adding in these elements like eccentrics that I don't have to use a whole lot of weight, and I still get pretty good workout, pretty good growth out of that. So, all right, I'm going to do my next 2 sets, and then we'll move on to our biceps. All right, pretty good back workout. I feel pretty good. Pretty fatigued. So, on to biceps. I'm going to start off with the tried and true, the classic straight bar curl. Biceps, after a really good back workout, it's really hard to not use your biceps in most of those back movements. So your biceps are probably going to be already a little fatigued. It's one of the reasons why I think some people will combine like biceps with their chest and triceps with their back. And it's an okay thing to do. I found that this works pretty well for me, putting pull in one day. Your biceps are a relatively small muscle. You don't need to move a ton of weight with them. Today, I'm going to go about 10 reps. So I've got 25s on here, so that's 95 pounds. And that's probably the max that I'll ever do. You get guys that try to throw on 45s or more. Whatever, to each his own, no hate. I just don't see the point. Biceps are just such a small muscle group. I know they look good. They make you look good. They fill out the sleeves. But so anyways, I'm doing 3 sets of this. Do 1 set on camera, and then we'll move on to preacher curls. So. Okay, 8 reps. I'm gonna go ahead and stick with this weight. Maybe it's an ego thing. I could probably go down, get a couple more reps out, but that actually felt pretty good. Try not to sway too much. Obviously you want to get range of motion at the very bottom, as straight as possible. Nice peak contraction at top. That's the other disadvantage of going too heavy. It's really hard to get that squeeze at the top. I felt like I was getting a pretty good one, but we'll see how the next 2 sets go. So, all right. Okay, I know I said that I was doing preacher curls next. I'm actually doing hammer curls. Should have checked my workout before I said anything. Really like hammer curls. Hammer curls, I feel like you can move a little more weight. The other thing I like about hammer curls is, they target not just the long head of the bicep, which is that outer kind of meaty part of the bicep, but they also target the brachialis and the brachioradialis, which are these 2 muscles that help with elbow extension, that they cross the elbow joint, but they're more forearm muscles. But, the thing I like about that is, I don't know if you've ever seen guys that have pretty good biceps, but man, their forearms are not very well developed. Getting that kind of like big upper body, big arm look, I think partially is developing your forearms. And then if you're an athlete or anything like that, brachioradialis and brachialis also help with some grip strength and things like that. I'm a wrestler or a wrestling coach, and so that's really, really important in our sport. So I'm going to grab the 45s here, and I'm going to show within the same set, I'm going to show 2 variations of the hammer curl that I like doing. Okay, the first variation is 2 hands at one time, coming straight up. And then as I start to fatigue, come across. There's a little bit of help there. It's kind of hard not to swing with this. So I start to emphasize the eccentric a little bit more. There we go, 12 reps. So I'm going to do my other 2 sets, and then we'll move on to shoulders. All right, moving on to our shoulders. One of the things that I've experienced over time is just a lot of wear and tear on my shoulders. Through lifting, powerlifting, wrestling, being a wrestling coach, I've really beat my shoulders up, and so my shoulders up until recently had just been really immobile, really weak, and so I've been really, really focused on strengthening my shoulders, working on shoulder mobility. And so, I had labrum surgery on my left shoulder. If I'm not careful, I'm going to have to do it on my right shoulder as well. So I really like this shoulder press variation. I feel like I don't have to use a lot of weight. In fact, I'm only using 10-pound dumbbells, but it really works on that external rotation of the shoulder, which I struggle with. And then you get a little bit of a pressing motion in there. So we call this a Cuban press. Okay. And so my hands start out, bent elbows, externally rotate, press, back down. Externally rotate, press, good. Okay, 10 reps. That's good for me. I can definitely feel that in my shoulders. You know, and the press gives a little bit extra there, but really, I mean, you could probably just sit here and do external rotations of the dumbbells. But yeah, so I would challenge you to try these. Man, shoulders are one of the places where, as we get older, and especially if we're at a job where we're sitting down like this on a computer all day long, those shoulders start to go. One of the things that's kind of helped me is instead of teaching history and English in a classroom, I've started teaching strength and conditioning and PE. So I'm up and moving all the time. That's actually really helped my posture, my shoulders, my lower back. You know, some of the areas where I started to feel like I was really weakening. So anyways, try these out. I'm going to do 2 more sets and then we'll move on to our last movement. Okay, last movement of the day. This is another lateral raise. But I'm going to use a slight variation here where I'm going to go thumbs up. Definitely don't feel like I can move as much weight, but again, it's really okay. When it comes to my shoulders, definitely like to get my shoulders bigger, but also want to get them stronger, not from a how much weight I can push around standpoint, but just from a stability standpoint. And so I'm doing all kinds of things that help with shoulder stability. Whenever I get a chance, a lot of proprioceptive work. So like grabbing a baseball or a softball and doing circular motions against a wall, just stuff like that to help stabilize my shoulders. So thumbs up opens up the joint capsule, reduces the opportunity for impingement, also reduces the opportunity to use heavier weight. So I'm going to use 15s here. Probably going to shoot for about 10 to 12 reps. Thumbs up. Parallel to the shoulders, parallel to the ground. Nice squeeze at the top. Get a little tiny eccentric in there. It's 5. And 10. All right, that's good. So, yeah, so I'm going to do my last 2 sets and then just talk it down a little bit. So, see you guys in a second. All right, guys, thanks for joining me for another great workout. This is a free weight / home gym pull, meaning back, biceps, shoulders workout. We did use our Spud Inc. pulley system. Otherwise, it's all free weight. Highly suggest getting that Spud Inc. pulley system for your home gym. $220. You get the high row, low row, just a ton of stuff you can do on that. So once again, I have been using the Renaissance Periodization Hypertrophy app, or the RP Hypertrophy app, developed by Dr. Mike Israetel. It has been absolutely amazing. I've been lifting almost my whole life, and I have not had workouts this good in a long, long time. Definitely, especially if your focus is growth and hypertrophy, scientifically put together workouts. The other thing that I really like about the hypertrophy app, though, is it does have an amazing amount of customization opportunities. You can add sets, you can take sets away, you can change movements. You're not locked into anything. That being said, I would highly suggest, for the most part, following the program that's kind of created for you. You know, I had to stuff my ego a little bit and just follow along with what was given to me, change some movements around based on what I had access to. But man, my workouts have been absolutely amazing. So thank you, Dr. Mike. And again, this is not a paid promotion. He has no idea who I am. So, but I hope you had a great workout. If you followed along, if you're going to take this and do this at the gym or in your own home gym, that's awesome. Maybe just utilize this whenever you can, or whatever the case may be. So I hope you have a great day. And until next time, peace.